alarming reports have surfaced claiming that Chrisean Rock could soon face serious trouble after disturbing allegations about her son, Chrisean Jr., began circulating. According to insiders, someone allegedly provided police with shocking photos, said to show the child's private medical condition, raising concerns about neglect. Claims suggest he has missed important surgeries, is suffering from painful diaper rashes, and that his care has not been properly managed. The situation escalated when Jason Lee dropped a bombshell revelation that confirmed the heartbreaking reality of the baby's ongoing struggles, leaving fans stunned. What makes it even more unsettling is the cruel twist of public spectacle. As debates spread online, people are now treating the child's suffering like a wager. Some have even gone as far as placing money on the situation, with one voice boldly declaring a $5,000 bet over Blueface and Chrisean Rock's baby, as if the boy's hardship were part of a game. For many, this was the tipping point. The baby fans once believed was finally safe in his mother's arms is now at the center of controversy, concern, and a deeply troubling conversation that has rattled the internet. Jason's revelation has shaken the internet in ways no one expected, turning quiet whispers into an emotional storm. For weeks, speculation spread online, questions about the baby's health, tense family drama, and secrets hiding behind carefully crafted social media smiles. But when Jason Lennon finally stepped forward, known for exposing the truths celebrities fight to bury, everything changed. His claims painted a devastating picture. Chrisean Jr. was not just dealing with normal infant struggles but facing life-altering challenges, entangled in a mix of medical battles, emotional turmoil, and family chaos. And according to Jason, this story goes deeper than a child's hardship. It touches betrayal, family silence, and an industry working overtime to bury uncomfortable truths. To understand the weight of it, you have to look back at Chrisean Rock's turbulent journey. Her life has always played out like a storm. Her volatile romance with Blueface, fiery social media meltdowns, and viral clashes constantly kept her name alive online. Yet through it all, fans clung to one hope: that motherhood, symbolized by her son, could bring the stability she never had. When Chrisean revealed her pregnancy, reactions were split. Some doubted her readiness to raise a child given her chaotic past, while others prayed motherhood would become her turning point. She documented the journey, sharing raw emotions, ultrasound images, and tearful confessions about carrying the burden largely alone. When Baby Chrisean Jr. finally arrived, fans believed it was a fresh start, a chance for her to rewrite her story and give her son the stability she lacked growing up. But the optimism quickly cracked. Strange tweets, deleted posts, and cryptic comments from family members suggested things behind closed doors were far from perfect. What once looked like hope now seemed clouded by shadows. And Jason's bombshell turned that suspicion into heartbreak, leaving many to wonder if this was the unraveling no one wanted to see. Jason Lee, the outspoken founder of Hollywood Unlocked, has built his empire on digging where others won't and exposing truths celebrities would rather bury. Known for breaking stories, mainstream media often tiptoes around. Jason has now turned his focus to Chrisean Rock and her infant son. What he revealed has the internet in chaos. In a live broadcast that quickly went viral, Jason confirmed the fears fans had been whispering about for months. Chrisean Jr. is not just facing ordinary baby struggles, but something far more serious. He claimed to have spoken with people close to the family, sources who painted a heartbreaking picture of a child caught in circumstances deeper and darker than anyone realized. Jason insisted this wasn't idle gossip or speculation. He had alleged receipts, evidence that left his audience stunned. His words were chilling. This isn't just a young mom trying to figure things out. This is devastating. The reaction online was immediate and polarizing. On one side, supporters rushed to defend Chrisean, arguing she has been exploited and needs help, not public humiliation. On the other, critics accused her of neglect, claiming her focus has been more on viral drama than her baby's well-being. But beyond the noise, Jason's revelations forced fans to confront a haunting question: has Chrisean's chaos-filled lifestyle, her battles with Blueface, and her constant entanglement in viral scandals overshadowed the most important reality of all, that her baby's future may be in jeopardy? The tragedy cuts deeper when you consider Chrisean's past. She has spoken openly about her childhood struggles growing up in instability, facing homelessness, and navigating life without the safety net of steady parental support. For many fans, her pregnancy represented a chance to break that cycle, to rewrite her story and give her child the foundation she never had. But Jason's claims have reignited fears that history might be repeating itself, only this time, an innocent child is at the center. What makes this revelation even heavier is the silence that surrounds it. Why hasn't Chrisean addressed these concerns directly? Why did Jason choose this exact moment to speak out? And most importantly, what exactly is happening with Chrisean Jr.? Jason's broadcast left far more questions than answers, and his closing words hinted at something even more disturbing. He suggested this wasn't just a story about a baby's struggles, but one about betrayal, silence, and truths too devastating to ignore. When Jason finally went live with the story, his delivery said it all. Gone was the sensational tone of gossip. Instead, his voice carried weight, calm but heavy, as though he understood the magnitude of what he was sharing. He didn't build suspense. He didn't tease. He dropped the line that froze the internet in place. I can confirm from people very close to this situation that Chrisean Jr. is struggling, and the struggle is serious. That one sentence changed everything. For months, fans speculated about Chrisean's ability to juggle motherhood amid her very public battles and unpredictable behavior, but Jason's confirmation shifted the narrative from rumor to tragedy, exposing what may be the most heartbreaking chapter yet in Chrisean's tumultuous story, a chapter where the one person with no voice, her son, is the one paying the highest price. Reports now suggest that the baby has been facing serious health struggles, some so severe they required emergency hospital visits, incidents never disclosed by Chrisean herself. According to Jason, multiple insiders confirmed that these were not routine checkups but alarming moments where the child's condition was critical, leaving those present deeply shaken. One witness allegedly described the infant as so fragile, it feels like he's carrying the weight of all the chaos around him, a statement that quickly sparked public panic. Social media erupted with speculation. Was the baby battling an illness? Could it be genetic? Or was the instability of Chrisean's world taking a toll on his development? Jason withheld exact medical details, citing privacy concerns, but emphasized that the situation was far from minor and carried devastating implications. The revelation took an even darker turn when Jason played a leaked voicemail, allegedly from within Chrisean's family circle. The voice on the recording trembled with fear and desperation, painting a haunting picture of the baby's fragile reality. She adores her baby, yet it is clear she is lost in the role of motherhood, with no proper guidance and no one stepping in to help, leaving the child to suffer the consequences. The short clip, not even half a minute long, spread like wildfire online, dividing the public. Some viewers accused Jason of crossing a line by exploiting deeply personal family struggles for attention, while others saw it as undeniable evidence that the child's health was at risk and that Chrisean was drowning under the overwhelming pressure of being a new mother. Quickly, the discussion grew beyond Chrisean herself and shifted to the people surrounding her. Where was Blueface in all this? Where were her relatives, her friends, her professional circle? How could so many people remain silent while a child was allegedly struggling behind closed doors? Then came the revelation that shocked everyone. Jason insisted this was not only about a young mother's exhaustion but about betrayal by those closest to her. According to him, people who knew the truth were refusing to step in, and worse, were allegedly using the child's suffering as a bargaining tool. He claimed insiders whispered that certain individuals, even within Chrisean's management, were leaking information to blogs, twisting narratives, and weaponizing the baby's pain to either build sympathy for Chrisean or drag her reputation down, depending on what served their interests. The issue was no longer simply about the challenges of raising a child. It became a chilling story of how a baby's hardship was being transformed into currency within the industry. Social media instantly erupted with speculation, with fans pointing fingers at everyone from estranged relatives to Blueface, known for stoking drama at Chrisean's expense, to members of her own team who might have been the very ones feeding Jason these details. Jason never named names, but he dropped a cryptic clue that the culprit was the last person anyone would expect, leaving the audience unsettled and the internet in chaos. The revelation struck harder than anyone expected. The person Chrisean believed would shield her turned out to be the one betraying her trust. That shift changed everything. Suddenly, the focus was no longer on whether Chrisean was fit to be a mother, but on the unsettling idea that those closest to her might be exploiting the turmoil for their own gain. Jason's sources hinted at something darker, suggesting Chrisean and her baby were caught in a larger, more sinister game. Fans wasted no time digging into the past, resurfacing old tweets of Blueface mocking her parenting, unearthing screenshots of her siblings casting judgment, and replaying past live streams for subtle red flags they might have missed. TikTok became a breeding ground for theories overnight. SHM claimed the baby's hospital visits were deliberately hidden by insiders to keep the press away, while others speculated that Blueface's camp itself had fed Jason the information to embarrass her publicly. Jason's chilling sign-off only poured gasoline on the fire. If you think this is the end, you're wrong. What's coming is far darker than anyone imagines. That haunting promise left the internet reeling. What began as concern for a child's health had evolved into something far more complex: betrayal, silence, and whispers of an industry plot that placed Chrisean Jr. at the center of the storm. The moment Jason confirmed the baby's struggles, social media exploded. Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram timelines were flooded with the word devastating. Echoing Jason's phrase, as hashtags like #PrayForChris_EAN and #ChrisEAN exposed surged into trending lists within hours. What started as a heartbreaking revelation had now spiraled into a cultural flashpoint, where grief mixed with outrage and speculation, making it impossible to look away. The internet erupted as Jason's broadcast began spreading like wildfire, with screenshots plastered across Instagram stories where people voiced shock, anger, and suspicion. Many writing captions such as, "I knew something was off. Blueface better not be behind this. This is heartbreaking. Why is nobody stepping in?" Almost instantly, the noise grew louder when celebrities started chiming in. From rappers to reality stars, everyone felt the urge to weigh in. Cardi B posted a cryptic message on her story: "You don't play with kids, ever. That baby deserves better than this circus." Summer Walker quietly fueled speculation by liking tweets accusing Chrisean's inner circle of exploiting the child's situation for sympathy and attention, which made fans wonder if she knew more than she let on. Even Nicki Minaj could not resist throwing shade, tweeting late at night, "When the people around you only see $signs, the child suffers first. #wake up." Her vague words sent fanbases into chaos, sparking heated debates over whether she was targeting Chrisean directly or exposing someone else in her camp. Just as the arguments reached a boiling point, the most shocking twist landed. A leaked text thread allegedly from Blueface's circle surfaced online. The messages, written in a disturbingly casual tone, appeared to strategize around the baby's health struggles as a publicity angle. One line pierced through the noise: "If we push the single mom narrative, the blogs will eat it up. Keep details vague but sad." The leak painted a disturbing image of people deliberately manipulating a child's suffering for clicks, money, and sympathy. Outrage swept through Twitter, with fans calling it sick and demanding accountability. Many writing, "They're exploiting a baby for clout, lock everyone up." Jason's warning proved heavier than anyone expected, and his repost of the text caption, "With this is exactly what I was talking about. Believe me now," set the tone for what followed. The storm intensified when Blueface himself fueled the outrage, going live on Instagram with a smirk, mocking the backlash instead of addressing it with concern. "Y'all always want me to be the villain. That baby good. Y'all believe anything these bloggers say." He laughed, dismissing the issue in a way that only enraged people further. What should have been a moment of reassurance turned into gasoline on an already blazing fire, with fans accusing him of downplaying a potentially life-or-death situation. Just when it seemed the drama could not escalate further, Jason Lee dropped another revelation, claiming he had spoken to a nurse who treated Chrisean Jr. during multiple hospital visits. The anonymous nurse alleged the baby had been brought in struggling more than once, not from neglect, but from exhaustion, stress, and an unstable home environment. That revelation shifted the narrative from illness to something darker: the chaos and volatility surrounding Chrisean and Blueface themselves, and how that toxic atmosphere might be affecting their child. Suddenly, whispers of neglect grew into a larger question: was this baby destined to suffer simply because of the environment he was born into? Speculation spread quickly, with rumors of Child Protective Services getting involved and even fabricated official documents suggesting social workers had already visited the home. Regardless of their authenticity, the rumors ignited a wave of outrage as fans demanded accountability from everyone close to Chrisean, not just Blueface, but her family, friends, and management team as well. No one was shielded from the backlash of an audience that felt horrified, betrayed, and deeply concerned. And then came Jason's final words, a chilling warning that this was not the end. He promised more revelations were on the horizon, ones so serious that the entire industry would eventually be forced to choose a side. With that cliffhanger, The conversation transformed from a messy family issue into a full-blown cultural crisis, leaving the internet bracing for whatever storm was about to hit next. What unfolded next was nothing short of a digital civil war driven by manipulation, amplified by clout, and most tragically, carried on the back of an innocent child's suffering. Jason Lee's revelations and the leaked messages had already shaken the internet. But the aftermath was even more explosive, leaving no corner of social media untouched. Outrage replaced sympathy, and the conversation fractured into bitter camps. On Twitter, #ProtectChris, EANJR, surpassed 3 million mentions in under a day. But the volume wasn't unity, it was chaos. One half of the discourse condemned Chrisean, accusing her of creating an unsafe environment for her baby, while the other half shifted the blame squarely onto Blueface and those in his orbit. A tweet that racked up nearly 200,000 likes put it bluntly: stop excusing her. A baby needs more than love. It needs stability. And she clearly doesn't have that under control. Another viral response countered with equal passion: Chrisean may be messy, but at least she's fighting for her baby. Blueface is laughing like nothing's wrong. Who's the real problem here? Receipts flew in from all directions, fans digging up old clips of Chrisean's public meltdowns, fights, and erratic moments, while others unearthed footage of Blueface mocking her struggles and belittling her as a mother. What began as concern spiraled into a digital battleground of blame and deflection. And the storm wasn't limited to fans. Celebrities joined the fray, deepening the divide. Summer Walker drew a line in the sand, tweeting, "Babies don't ask for this. They deserve peace, not chaos. I stand with the nurse." Some praised her bluntness, while others accused her of chasing clout by inserting herself into the narrative. Cardi B, already hinting at her frustration earlier, turned up the heat with an unfiltered Instagram live. "I don't care who gets mad when it comes to kids. You do better. Ain't no excuse. Don't let fame make you forget what matters most." Many interpreted her words as a direct jab at Chrisean, igniting even more controversy. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj's cryptic tweet became the epicenter of yet another storm, sparking a loud war between the Barbs and Chrisean supporters. Suddenly, the baby's health crisis had morphed into a hip-hop fandom clash with artists, stans, and spectators all caught in the crossfire. Even Meek Mill chimed in with a blunt post on Threads, lamenting, "I hate seeing this." But the noise only grew louder when anonymous accounts began circulating fabricated CPS reports, claiming that Child Protective Services had already launched an investigation. Though completely unverified, the supposed documents spread like wildfire, convincing thousands that an official case was underway. On TikTok, creators capitalized on the frenzy, launching entire multi-part series dissecting Jason's claims, connecting dots, and fueling speculation. What started as whispers about a baby's struggle had transformed into a cultural spectacle, a battleground of blame, betrayal, and industry drama that left the truth buried under layers of outrage and speculation. The clips of the nurse's alleged statements and Blueface's dismissive Instagram live were like fuel on a wildfire. Millions of viewers devoured them, rewinding and replaying every second, analyzing every glance, every pause, every word, as if trying to decode a mystery with life-or-death stakes. Each frame became a clue, each reaction a potential confession, and fans across platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, acted as amateur detectives, debating the meaning behind the gestures and tone. The internet buzzed with speculation, outrage, and heartbreak, as the narrative seemed to deepen with every view. Yet the most shocking revelation came not from the media or online sleuths, but from someone who had been inside Chrisean's personal circle. One of her so-called friends went live unexpectedly, her voice shaking, her words heavy with emotion, sending a ripple through the already volatile story. She confessed, "Y'all don't even know half of it. That baby is going through more than Jason revealed. Chrisean is trying, but she is breaking down, and the people around her, they do not care. They're taking advantage of her." Those words struck like a lightning bolt, exposing a dimension of betrayal and vulnerability that fans had only suspected but never fully understood. The emotional weight of her testimony added a human layer to the story. No longer just speculation about neglect or health struggles, but a first-hand account of isolation, manipulation, and emotional strain within Chrisean's own support network. The livestream reignited the conversation in a way nothing else had. Fans immediately began dissecting the implications. Who were these people failing her? Were they family members, management, friends, or even figures from the industry leveraging the situation for their own gain? Social media exploded with debates and theories. Screenshots of old live streams resurfaced. Cryptic messages were reread with fresh eyes. And videos of Blueface's interactions with Chrisean were scrutinized for signs of complicity or disregard. The story was no longer about a struggling young mother alone. It was about betrayal at multiple levels. A system failing a child in plain sight. Comments flooded in, ranging from support to condemnation. Some viewers expressed sympathy for Chrisean, applauding her efforts and recognizing the immense pressure she was under. Others criticized her circle, calling out the alleged manipulation and exploitation of her vulnerabilities. Particularly in the light of her baby's struggles, the live stream had shifted the lens, making the audience question the loyalties and ethics of everyone surrounding her. Suddenly, Chrisean's private struggle had become a public reckoning, exposing cracks in her relationships and highlighting the potential dangers of an environment where support is conditional, absent, or even harmful. The narrative now extended beyond celebrity gossip was a conversation about responsibility, accountability, and the harsh realities faced by young parents navigating fame, scrutiny, and complex personal dynamics. Fans, insiders, and casual observers alike were left reeling, bracing for the next development in what had become a story of heartbreak, betrayal, and the fragile line between public image and private pain. The questions grew louder. Was Chrisean simply a young mother struggling against impossible odds, betrayed by people pretending to support her? Or was she silently allowing the very exploitation Jason Lee had dragged into the light? Public opinion split sharply, but one truth was clear: the story had spiraled into a full-blown crisis. It was no longer something that fans, celebrities, or even the entertainment industry could brush aside. Then, just when the uproar began to settle, Jason Lee re-emerged with a chilling tease. "You thought the texts were bad," he warned. "Wait until the final receipts drop, then you'll know exactly who has been lying all along." With that, the internet held its breath. The storm was far from over. What Jason had already put into the public eye was damaging enough. But what came next made people wonder what could possibly cut deeper than what was already known. Just when it seemed the storm had reached its peak, Jason Lee returned, poised and deliberate, with a revelation that would rattle even his toughest critics. On a sudden Hollywood Unlocked livestream, Jason leaned forward with that trademark grin, his voice dropping to a whisper. "You all wanted the truth. Well, here it is." Then, without hesitation, he released screenshots that he claimed were private exchanges between a record label executive and members of Chrisean's own camp. The alleged communications painted a disturbing picture. They pointed to a calculated effort to hide the reality of Chrisean Jr.'s condition, not simply to protect her image, but to safeguard Blueface's reputation and preserve the business interests tied to both of them. The suggestion was chilling. The truth about the baby's health was being deliberately concealed, turned into an industry secret rather than a personal struggle. Jason's revelations painted a picture far darker than most fans could have imagined. According to the evidence he presented, Chrisean Jr.'s health struggles were not minor setbacks or routine infant issues. They were serious, ongoing, and life-altering. Behind the scenes, sources claimed the child had been repeatedly admitted to private medical facilities, receiving interventions that were never publicly acknowledged. While fans believed Chrisean was sharing updates and documenting her motherhood journey online, insiders alleged that a carefully orchestrated narrative was being maintained, one designed to project calm and normalcy. Social media posts, cryptic updates, and staged appearances all allegedly played a part in keeping the public unaware of the true severity of the baby's condition. The most chilling piece of evidence came from a leaked message that Jason shared during his broadcast. Written in unflinching, bold terms, it read, "If the truth about the baby gets out, it is over, not just for Chrisean, but for everyone connected to her." The line carried a terrifying weight. It suggested that what should have been private, sacred, and urgent, the health of an infant, was being weaponized, controlled, and strategically hidden. The audience watching Jason's live stream reacted instantly. The chat box flooded with hundreds of messages per second. Expressions of shock, disbelief, and moral outrage poured in. Some viewers demanded accountability, questioning how anyone could prioritize fame, reputation, or financial gain over a child's well-being. Others expressed deep anger toward the adults involved, suggesting that the entertainment industry had crossed a line, turning an infant's struggles into a tool for manipulation or profit. Fans immediately began to speculate about the logistics of this alleged cover-up. Questions circulated about how many people were involved in orchestrating the narrative. The conversation quickly expanded beyond just Chrisean or Blueface. It became a critique of the system surrounding them, the network of people allegedly willing to manipulate the truth for self-preservation or gain. Fans debated ethics, morality, and parental responsibility, but also the responsibility of the broader entertainment ecosystem that allows such situations to exist. The mixture of shock, fear, and indignation set social media ablaze, sparking viral hashtags, long discussion threads, and debates across platforms about accountability and the horrifying implications of exploiting a child's vulnerability for any reason. By the end of Jason's broadcast, it was clear that this story had escalated beyond a celebrity scandal. It was now a public reckoning, raising urgent questions about the ethics of fame, the duty of care toward children, and the moral compromises people might make in the shadows of the entertainment world. Fans were left not just concerned but emotionally charged, wondering how such a situation could unfold unchecked, and what the ultimate consequences would be for Chrisean Jr., his mother, and all those complicit in maintaining the facade. And just when the emotions reached their highest point, Jason added one more dagger. He alleged that a major female artist, someone who had once publicly defended Chrisean, was also tied to this silence. The implication was clear: what the public believed was support may have been complicity, a hand in keeping the truth buried. The revelation reshaped everything. What began as gossip about personal drama had now expanded into something far darker: question about morality, exploitation, and the hidden cost of fame. Jason had not only pulled back the curtain, he had left fans questioning how far the industry would go to protect its own interests, even at the expense of innocence. Jason Lee did not reveal names, at least not yet, but he teased that undeniable proof was coming. Immediately, fans went into overdrive, speculating wildly. Could it be Summer Walker, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion? Theories flew across Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, each one more elaborate than the last. The tension was palpable, every viewer on edge, waiting for the next move. Of course, Blueface wasted no time responding. Within minutes of Jason's livestream, he went live himself, laughing and mocking Jason as nothing more than a clout chaser. But the audience was no longer buying it. The laughter sounded hollow, forced, almost desperate. Comments flooded in, accusing him of hiding the truth, with some fans even calling for authorities to step in immediately. Meanwhile, Chrisean remained unnervingly silent. No tweets, no Instagram lives, no public statements. For someone usually quick to react, her silence was deafening. Fans read into it as guilt, fear, or perhaps both. The blogs erupted overnight. Headlines screamed, "Jason Lee exposes cover-up in Chrisean and Jr.'s health crisis." Blueface mocked fans while his son's struggles were hidden, and receipts drop, which female rapper helped keep the secret. But the climax came in the final moments of Jason's livestream, a cliffhanger nobody saw coming. He held up a blurred document that looked official, leaning back and saying, "This paper right here proves everything. I can't show it yet, because if I do, they'll shut me down. But trust me, it's coming. And when it drops, you'll never see Chrisean, Blueface, or this industry the same way again." The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. The internet froze. Was he bluffing, or did he truly have concrete evidence that Chrisean Jr.'s medical struggles had been deliberately hidden? Fans erupted with questions and theories. Some insisted the blurred document was fake. Others believed it was the very reason behind Chrisean's silence, proof she couldn't fight back. Some feared it could trigger a full-scale CPS investigation, potentially removing the baby from her care. A viral TikTok captured the collective anxiety perfectly. If Jason's claims were true, this was no longer gossip, was a child's life hanging in the balance. The cliffhanger left the online world reeling. Jason promised more. Chrisean's silence grew louder with each hour, and Blueface's dismissive reactions lost their credibility. Social media was awash with debates, speculation, and fear. Fans, insiders, and casual observers alike were left asking the same questions. Would Jason reveal the full truth? Would Chrisean respond? Or would the industry move to bury the story to protect itself? One thing was crystal clear: this narrative was far from over. The stage was set for a dramatic revelation that could rewrite everything fans thought they knew. If Jason truly possesses that document, the implications could be devastating for Chrisean, Blueface, and everyone tied to the unfolding saga. The world waits, holding its breath. as the tension builds toward the next explosive chapter.